Yossi Mekelberg has been an associate fellow with the Middle East program at Chatham House since 2002, and he joins us now live from London. It's a pleasure to have you on the program, sir, today. Now, just give us some insight into the amount of power that Netanyahu is supposed to have with these judicial reforms and how it goes against what protesters describe as the democratic values of Israel.
Hello, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's nothing short of judicial coup. I see it as a completely judicial vandalism. It's an effort to weaken the judiciary in Israel beyond recognition. And the main culprit here is Prime Minister Netanyahu himself, because he is facing, let's remind our viewers that he's facing corruption trial on 3 cases of fraud and breach of trust and bribery. So he tried to weaken the judiciary in order to get off the hook in his trial. In the meantime,
So you think that Netanyahu is merely doing this because of the corruption trials he faces? He wants to escape those corruption trials.
Absolutely. If you look at quotes from him along the years, he said exactly the opposite about the importance of independent judiciary. This is one of the essence of a liberal democracy, the independence of the judiciary, and enshrining checks and balances within the system of government. And he said exactly the opposite. If, for instance, when another prime minister at the time faced a trial for corruption, he said, about Olmert, Prime Minister Olmert, you can't have a prime minister serving in such a high office while facing a court case. Here he is indicted for such cases, serious cases of corruption, and he won't suspend himself. Not only that, only last night, the Knesset passed a law that there is no way, they don't want for the judiciary to have any way to suspend him because he is unfit to become a prime minister or to stay as a prime minister. In the meantime, there are a lot of other changes about how judges are elected to the Supreme Court, overriding decision by the Supreme Court. There is a long list that will actually empty Israel democracy of any content.
So what do you think the political process would look like moving forward? And more importantly, how is this shaping the way that Netanyahu and his far-right coalition will be leading this country in the future?
I think now that we see 3 parallel processes. One, what happened in the Knesset, which because the current coalition has a majority, they press on with this basically an ambush of legislation. Usually constitution, take long time to write, especially such deep changes in the constitutional arrangement. The second one, as we can see from the pictures in front of us, the process taking the streets. Hundreds of thousands, week after week, 12 weeks now, are in the streets inside Israel and also abroad. Netanyahu is coming to London tomorrow, and he will face more demonstration. And the third one, whenever he is abroad, here really serious criticism by his hosts, whether it's in Berlin or Rome and Paris, tomorrow in London, for what he is doing, and the kind of the dream ticket for every Israel prime minister is to get an invite to the White House. And as we can see, President Biden hasn't even invited him. So I think this is the processes, and the hope is that at the end of the day, he will be forced to stop this judicial vandalism.
Okay, Yossi Mekelberg, thank you so much for joining us here on Tier 2 World and sharing that analysis with us.